to vibe. Like and subscribe.
Hey everybody, how's it going? How's it going? Hey, let me know in the chat if you can hear my voice. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the YouTube streets, so I definitely understand. She said, "Amor, please pin your coffee link." Okay, let me go grab it right quick. This is not going to be a long live, and those that are not here can always come back and hit the replay. Honey, I know it's some stuff going on. Some tea is being spilled, baby. I understand. Hold on one second. Let me hit share. Copy. Let me put it in the chat and let me pin it to the top right quick. Okay. So that is the coffee link. If you want to make some loud noise up in here, you can always buy a coffee. It starts at $5. The coffee does. Let me pin it up top. Hold on one second. If you want to buy me, more coffees, feel free, honey. You know what I mean? I would definitely enjoy it. Appreciate it. So you guys, today, okay, so you can hear me. All right. And hit that thumbs up button for me. Okay. Thank you, Glenn, for being the first one to contribute toward my goal. I do appreciate it. And we got Lakeisha in second. She says, "Hey, my sister Moore and LOUDTalkerz just stopping by to show some love. I break my fast in about 40 minutes, last 11 days of Ramadan. I have been praying hard for you, my sister. Still here to support." Oh, thank you so much, Lakeisha. I appreciate it. And Glenn said, "Happy hump day." Thank you so much. And girl, good luck on Ramadan, baby, because honey, them fasts ain't no joke. But hey, good luck with it. Good luck with it. And thank you so much for the support. So we're going to have an important topic today. So those that miss it, please come back and listen. And if you are the ones that come back and listen to it, please hit the thumbs up button and also leave comments. You can leave I'm catching the replay comment or even comment on this topic because it's actually a good topic, you guys. All right. The topic today, we're going to be talking about toxic parenting. Okay. Mamas, daddies, parenting, toxic parenting, how some mothers raise dangerous men. All right. Sometimes the toxic mothers turn these men toxic. Okay. So the story that we're going to be doing today is actually based off a real story. All right. I'm going to put the thumbnail up for the people that I'm Speaking on. All right, so let me tell you what's going on. So we have Miss Sheila Agee in the middle. She's the mama of Keith Agee, the guy you see here. And then we have the young lady name is, what is her name? Is it Brittany? No, Brooklyn Sims. Okay. So Keith, 20 years old, unalived the 18-year-old Brooklyn Sims. It was his baby's mama. All right. I'm going to show you a video of it, and then we're going to continue on, and then we're going to discuss it. Okay. All right. So let me take this down because it won't let me. All right. Hold on one second. Oh, shoot. I got to remove. I can't put both. All right. All right. So I have to do it like this. All right. So let's look at the video, and it's going to give you a brief overview, and then we're going to do a deep dive. Okay.
Bombshell revelation in that Home Depot shooting that killed an 18-year-old woman on Friday. The suspect, Keith Agee's mother, is now facing charges. Sheila Agee, arrested last night in Washington County, Alabama, charged with principal to first-degree murder. The 50-year-old now in custody for extradition to Pensacola.
The Escambia Sheriff's Office announcing her arrest, releasing excerpts from text messages between Sheila and Keith Agee. Investigators say the sometimes explicit messages show the pair plotted to kill 18-year-old Brooklyn Sims. Tanner Stewart learned the suspect's mother was on the scene at the time of the shooting.
As friends and family gathered Monday night to remember the victim from Friday's Home Depot shooting, a familiar face caught on camera by our crews. Sheila Agee, the mother of shooting suspect Keith Agee, was seen in attendance. Not long after this, she was arrested and charged with principal to first-degree murder.
I don't know that I'm aware of one that kind of took this particular type of turn. They filled me in that, hey, we've got, there's someone else involved in this thing. And okay, that happens a lot. Rarely does it involve the mother. Rarely does it involve the mother that's actually at the scene and that actually gave a ride to the victim.
Sheriff Chip Simmons telling me today that both Agee and the victim, Brooklyn Sims, rode to work together on the day of the shooting. Domestic cases like this aren't uncommon, the sheriff says. What is rare, though, is the mother-son connection.
His mother was apparently at the store. His mother was also employed, the victim in this case. And again, as they started to tell me what these text messages said, I was in disbelief. I cannot believe that this individual is not just, cooperating with her son, but also appeared to be arranging it, helping him out and letting him know exactly where he needs to go.
Keith Agee said he was going to kill Sims. Agee telling his mother in a text, "I can't take it," expletive. According to Sims' family members, the two had been involved in a rocky relationship. Sheila Agee appeared to egg on her son. One text says, quote,
"If you don't come kill her, you would."
Another reads,
"I'll give you the address here,
meaning Pensacola.
and you can ride over here and do it so you don't have to do it in front of your daughter."
The apparent plan? To get Sims in Sheila Agee's car. This text reads,
"Don't shoot at my car. I don't want to die. Wait till I put her out."
telling her son she doesn't care what he does, just quote, "Don't shoot me." The messages continue, with each telling one another to delete the text, with Sheila saying, "Hold up, let me get it erased, the text, because I don't want nobody to know I was texting you." Deputies were still able to recover and share some of them.
Is there one message that really set things apart?
I think the one that gets me is don't shoot at my car. I'm gonna be in my car. Don't be careful. Don't shoot my car. Don't shoot me. And he says, "I won't." It's just that cold reality of what you're reading. And the intent that was involved there. I think that's really the most shocking part.
A bombshell revelation.
Okay.
Home Depot shooting.
So let's go over this story. Y'all heard for yourself a little bit about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break this thing all the way down. Thank you so much, Nisi, for buying me a coffee. I appreciate it. It's definitely going to wake me up. She made some loud noise in this mofo with that $5 tip. Thank you so very much. So here again, let me put these photos back up for you, all right? We got a mother, we got a son, and we have an 18-year-old ex-girlfriend who is the baby mother of this 20-year-old young fella, all right? So the female, Brooklyn Sims, 18 years old, was working at a Home Depot with the mother, okay? They both worked at Home Depot together. They even caught a ride and rode in together that very same day. The mother took her to work, okay, with her at Home Depot. This happened in Florida, you guys. So the 20-year-old, they had a rocky relationship and they had broken up. And Brooklyn said, all I want to do is just co-parent with you, all right? So they agreed to co-parent. However, you know how sometime in co-parenting, if you haven't moved on to another relationship, what do? You dip back and have sex with your baby daddy, okay? A lot of people have done it. I'm one that have not, but I know a lot of people that do dip back and still continue to have sexual relationships with their ex, even though they are not together, okay? So again, they were co-parenting, but they were still sleeping together. She just had sex with him. 2 days later, he finds out from the doctor. He got a call from the doctor saying that he had an STD, okay? Now, all this is allegedly because, I mean, did he really get a call from the doctor? We don't know. However, he said he received a call from the doctor. It angered him. He told his mama, like a little old mama's boy that he was at 20 years old, telling his mama he got an STD. And guess what his mother says to him? If you don't kill, I can't even say it the way she said it. Let me try to figure out how to say it. If you don't unalive this, let me get the right words. Okay. He said, if you don't unalive this B, you are a, no, she said, if you don't unalive this MFer, you are a B. All right. That's what his mother texts him. Okay. The mother. All right. But even before then, while they were, going through their rocky relationship, the mother, him and his mother had different text messages back and forth from each other or whatever, talking about the relationship. And he's telling his mom, all she's doing is draining me of my money. I should just go and just pop her or whatever. He'd been telling his mama that he wanted to unalive her, and the mother encouraged it. Okay. What the hell type mama is that? Not the mama that says, son, y'all got a 2-year-old daughter together. Like, what are you doing? What are you thinking about? You can't do that. How are you going to unalive your baby's mom? Or you're going to go to jail for the rest of your life? Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand how mama won't even talk her son down. She's like, no, if you don't go ahead and do it. So anyway, so let's get back into it again. So the mama and the ex-girlfriend, her granddaughter's mother, was working at a Home Depot together, all right? The 20-year-old found out he had an STD, contacted his mama, told his mama. She said, if you don't unalive the MFer, you a B. He says, okay. So they started texting it back and forth with each other and set up a plan on how it was going to get done. He's like, well, send me the address. She's like, all right, I'll send you the address to the Home Depot. She's texting her son where Brooklyn is at in the store. She's on aisle 5. Come on, hurry up now. This, that, and the other. She's giving her son play by play of where to find his baby mama at in the store. Like, are you kidding me right now? And all this is on text message, you guys. Text message that he thought, oh, I'm going to delete. You delete it and won't nobody ever find out. Like, are you kidding me right now? Anyway, so the text message between the two, she was urging her son to commit the act, even providing him directions to the Home Depot where Brooklyn was working. So she has been now charged also with principal to first-degree meditated murder. He was charged and sentenced to life in prison, all right? He was charged. Now, his defense was, she gave me an STD. But do y'all want to hear this one? And I'm going to need y'all to sit down for this one right here. The doctor called him and told him he had an STD. They tested her. She never tested positive for an STD. She came up negative. They did an STD test on her after she was pop 7 times by this joker, right? 7 times she shot by this joker. They tested her and she didn't even have an STD. So he unalived her, told his defense was she gave him an STD and he was the maddest he ever been in his life. I guess, I don't know who told him to come up with that fraganaga bull. However, he thought that that was going to get him off or whatever, right? So anyway, she never had an STD. So not only did the 2-year-old lose her daddy to life in prison, he also lost the mama by the hands of the dad, okay? Now, I really want to get into the conversation about this mother, this trifling, nasty, disgusting ass mother. Her name is Sheila. Now, they had a trial for her back in November, but it was a mistrial, so that she's waiting her another trial, and hopefully she get life in prison forever, and maybe a stone or two thrown at her or whatever, because in my opinion, she encouraged this bad behavior of her son. I understand he was an adult and he's responsible for his action. He got life in prison. But for her, I feel like she should get 3 life prison sentences, okay? Because she encouraged it. How do you encourage your own son to commit a crime? Text him the directions. And then during the balloon release, you guys, she was there. What psychopath shows up at the balloon release after you done told your son to pop her? Your son popped her and you are at the balloon release. What? She was there at the balloon release acting like she's all sad and whatnot over the girl's death when she is the one that enabled him and encouraged him to do so. Again, it was a mistrial, but let me tell you why. One of the jurors was caught not falling asleep, but doing a crossword puzzle during, when they were giving the case in court. So because he was caught doing a puzzle, crossword puzzle, they looked at it like, you can't even, really give your take on the case because you ain't even paying attention. You're not even listening to everything. So it was a mistrial because, they found him, uninterested in what was going on. All right. And then another juror had something wrong with them as well, some type of safety issue. And so it's a mistrial. So she is still waiting to go to court to be sentenced for her part in this, which I believe that her part is very important. All right. I believe that the mother has a serious ass issue because most mothers are nurturing, right? They try to protect their kids. They don't want to see their kids in trouble. They try to teach their kids the right things and they try to make sure that they don't do anything wrong. She encouraged them. If you don't kill, you don't unalive this girl, you are a bitch, is what she told her son. Hey, who does that? Huh? Now, again, we are not taking anything away from him, the 20-year-old, right? He has been held accountable for his action. But this freaking mother, because of her envy, because of her jealousy, and because of the hate that she had in her heart for this young lady, that only thing the young lady wanted to do was move on. Her family and friends said that she just wanted to move on. She said, are they going to retrial? Of course. Of course. Now, she was supposed to be due back in court in February, which just was last month. However, is no information about what happened in February, but they're not going to let her go. They're definitely not going to allow her to get away with this. She will have to go before the court once again, and she will be held accountable. I do believe a jury will find her guilty. And I do believe that she's going to get put away for life if she is found guilty for what she's been charged with, which is the premeditated first degree. What is she being charged with? The first degree premeditated, I think like accomplice to murder or something like that. However, I do believe that she will be charged, and found guilty. Is first degree premeditated murder is what she's being charged with. Oh, well, I'm sorry, principal to first degree. So principal is just like being an accompanist to, right? Accompanist. So she will be charged, in my opinion, because there's text messages, more than one. He has been talking to his mama, they weird ass relationship. He's been talking to his mama about having problems with the girl all along in the relationship, I just feel like if you and your son, y'all could be close all you want to or whatever, but if you encourage bad behavior to your child instead of trying to talk sense into them and say, either break apart, at 20 years old, go your way, she go her way or whatever. Like, you don't even need counseling at this point unless you just want to. But at that young age, I would just say if the relationship is toxic, you go your way and she go hers. You understand? Y'all just co-parent the 2-year-old. Y'all too young to be trying to be in a toxic relationship like that, right? So anyway, again, oh my God, y'all. When I think about the nuts and the bolts of this case, it pisses me off because she rode to work with her that morning knowing that her son was going to come up later on that day and unalive her. So I'm just sitting up here thinking that is a cold, calculated, freaking evil ass woman to know that you are riding in the car with someone that your son is going to unalive later. Thank you, Chris, so much for making some loud noise up in here. I do appreciate it. So what type of cold-hearted person can you be? You're literally in the car riding, and guess what? The ride was 9, which I don't understand this, because who goes to Home Depot, who rides 90 minutes, okay, to a job? But however, I mean, I know people that do it, but 90 minutes anyway. 90 minutes you're riding with this young lady to work. 90 freaking minutes you are riding to work. What are you saying to her in 90 minutes when you know that you have told your son to unalive her? So, you know, and they say the 20-year-old had narcissistic tendencies, okay? He was a little violent, you know, controlling, didn't want her to do this, didn't want her to do that. He tried to isolate her. This is what her family said, right? They said he was trying to isolate her and, you know, gaslighting and trying to control her or whatever. And that is what she didn't want to deal with. So she had told her family that she didn't want to be with him no more. She just wanted to co-parent with him. I just want to co-parent with our 2-year-old daughter. That's it, right? However, he couldn't take rejection. He couldn't take the fact that they wasn't together. However, they were still sleeping together. And then he said he was so angry when he thought that she gave him an STD. He thought she was messing with someone else. Come to find out, she never had the STD. So where do you think he got it from? And see, a lot of people don't understand that you have an STD that stays dormant or whatever, like from someone that you mess with. It may not even pop up right away. It may take months or weeks or months or whatever. I don't know about a year, but it take a little time to pop up, right? So it could have been somebody that he messed with 2 weeks, 2 months ago, or whatever the case may be, but she never had it. They tested her and she did not have an STD. So let's talk about this old trifling ass mama right quick. Let's talk about this old trifling ass mama. Again, like I said, the mama's supposed to be nurturing. The mama's supposed to be caring. The mama's supposed to be understanding. The mama's supposed to encourage good behaviors to her children. Okay? Did she? Hell no. She did not want to hold him accountable, right, for whatever caused them to break up. She wanted to put it on the girl. You know, oh, she don't want to be with you? Well, let's just handle that, okay? So she would rather blame the baby mama for whatever the reasons they broke up instead of trying to hold her son accountable or have him hold himself accountable, okay? So she wanted to blame Brooklyn instead of blaming and putting the responsibility on her son, all right? Now, another thing, the son was lashing out in text messages saying things like, all she doing is taking money from me. I just want to unalive her. You know, he said the K word, but I just want to unalive her. I don't even give a F. He said that, and guess what his mother should have texted back and said, son, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? We need to get you some counseling for you to even be thinking that way. He literally texted his mama way before this incident, way before the STD incident, and told his mama that all she doing is taking money from him. And I'm assuming it was through child support. So she may have put him on child support, and however much it was for an 18 and 20-year-old, I'm sure it won a whole lot, right? But he didn't want to pay that. So he already told his mama, man, I'm just going to unalive her, and I know this is going to suck for our daughter, but at this point, I don't even give a F. You would think the mother would be like, what are you talking about? Are you out your mind? Are you listening to yourself right now? Did you just text me that? Boy, if you don't come down off of this, that's what a real mother would do. A mother would say, do you need to get checked in a psych ward? Did you just say what I think you said? That's what a real nurturing mother would do. She would definitely not try to teach her son to lash out and disrespect women. She would not try to push her son to do evil and illegal things, okay? She wanted her son to seek revenge instead of just moving on. Instead of teaching your son, you know what, son, there's more fish in the sea. I understand that you guys broke up, but y'all young. Take care of your 2-year-old and find somebody that you're more compatible with. That's a reasonable mom. So instead of teaching him to move on, she's like, nah, seek revenge. Unalive her. Unalive her, okay? So again, she also, by not holding him accountable for his action, she created a golden boy, what some people call a damn mama's boy, right? She created him to think that, oh, you're more superior than women. Okay, women should be catering to you, not you catering to them. All right? She also was teaching her son how to be weak emotionally, not be able to control your own emotions, okay? Instead of teaching him healthy coping skills. All right? She said he has a narcissist mammy. Absolutely, he has a narcissist and evil ass mammy. Okay? She failed him. She totally failed him. She was teaching him anger and violence is the only response to your hurt ass feelings. Now, I don't know about y'all. Raise your hand if you want to participate. But do you have a son? And if so, have your son ever got his heart broken? And what did you do when your son came to you and told you about it? Because I know I've been in that situation when my son was 15. He was 15 years old when he got his heart first broken. Tell me, have you guys, anybody with a son? She said, my son is only 7. Okay. Anybody with a son that ever came and told him about a heartbreak from a relationship? It hurts, trust me, as a mama, to see your son cry or to hear your son say, Mama, she did this to me or she did that to me. You hurt for your son, but guess what? You do not encourage violence. You do not encourage violence. You tell him, baby, it's okay. It's okay, son. You win some and you lose some. She said, I have a son that I had to talk down off the ledge. Oh, you did? I spoke life into my son. I said, it happens. We can't have everything that we want, and everything that we think we want may not even be good for us, you know? And I was like, son, y'all 15. If it's meant to be, trust. It may not even be now, but it might be 3, 4, 5 years from now. But if it's meant to be, you guys will be. Okay? Hey, Candy. Anybody else that have a son that had their heart broken by a female? Raise your hand or tell us about it. She said, I have 3 sons and we talk. They respect women. Okay. Okay, so most of y'all sons may be too young or they've never came to y'all with a heartbreak. Okay, no worries, no worries. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I talked to my son and I spoke life into him and told him, you know, again, more fishing to see you too young to be dealing with stuff like this, you know. I mean, I felt his pain, but baby, I would never, ever encourage violence. Be like, oh, well, she hurt your feelings. Go unalive her. Who does that? She said, I told him to go to court to get everything on paper. There's a baby involved. Okay, Denise. She said, I told my son to pray on it. And if God wants it to be, then it will be. It will happen in his time. If not, then he needs to move on because there's someone special out there for him. Okay. And it's want to say, yes, it really hurts to see him hurting, but I would never tell my son to do anything like that. Absolutely. Trust me, it hurts. Honey, baby, I know. You just be, oh, child, your son, when your son hurt, you hold on to him and you suck in that pain with them, right? You hold him and you say, oh my God, baby, I'm so sorry to see you cry or whatever the case may be. Because my son did that. He was 15 years old. But baby, I put my son in my arms and I held on to him. But I would never, ever, ever incite my son to do something criminally that could ruin his life, because that's exactly what she did. The fact that her son right now is sitting in cell block, whatever, for the rest of his life is her freaking fault. Okay? Not taking no responsibility away from him, but his mother failed him miserably. Okay. She said, yes, my son lost 50 pounds. He had to get away from her. I paid for the divorce and he got custody of his 4 children by her. Okay. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to grease up and go fight for my son, but I decided against it. I told him that somebody better would come along. Exactly. And I understand that you was hurting for him and you may have said that I'm going to go kick her ass. I get it. But to say, if you don't unalive her, you are a B. Come on. To your son, would you do that? If you don't go and take care of that right now, you ain't nothing but a bitch. What mother would tell that son that as if he wasn't going to get caught in Home Depot? Y'all know they got cameras in Home Depot all around the damn place. You ain't about to steal shit up in there. And you ain't coming on aisle 5 and unaliving somebody and think you're going to get away with it. Steffi said, I am a girl's mom, so I dealt with the other side of the the heartbreak. Trust me, I understand, baby. Daughters too, baby. You be mad, you know. Tam more in chat, stopping by to hit the thumbs up. Okay, thank you, baby. She said, sounds like she didn't give two about her son's life. Not one. You hear me? 2, 3, 4, 5. She didn't give not one care about him. You hear me? She probably did that because she wanted to raise their daughter as her own. Well, I don't know why she thought that, you know, those, or he wasn't even going to implement her, or they wasn't going to find those text messages. She crazy. She said, I have a son, but I've never experienced any heartbreaks. Okay, got you. She said, I told him mama would love him for the rest of his life. That's right. You speak life in him. Baby, I'll be your, you know, not your wife, but baby, listen, let me love your family for right now until your girl come along. She should get an unalive conviction. Also, do you saying she should get the death penalty? Let me see. So the son, let me see, instead of teaching him how to move on, she raised him to feel entitled. Okay? Raise him to feel entitled. She should be happy to be with you. And if she don't want to be with you, then she needs to be punished. Okay? I already talked about the rejection. She definitely didn't teach him how to handle rejection. Okay, I already heard a lot of y'all say that y'all would tell him there's a better woman that will come along, there's somebody else out there, more fish in the sea. But I also think that it's important to teach our kids about rejection. And what I mean about that is teach them that it's okay to be rejected. You're not going to always get everything that you want. There's nothing wrong with teaching your children that you will be told no sometime in your life, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's a friendship. You know, you're going to be told no, whether it's money. You're going to be rejected. Someone is going to tell you no. Someone is going to not like you. Those are healthy, teachable moments for your children. And not teaching them that one day you're going to be let down, you're going to be told no, something's going to be taken away from you, right? Instead of teaching them that and teaching them how to handle that, then you just wait till it happened and then you deal with the rejection right then and there. In my opinion, I feel like you should go ahead and teach them. You're going to be rejected one day and it's going to hurt you to your core. But let me go ahead and tell you right now, just because it hurt you to your core, don't mean that you stop. No. Go through the pain, let it hurt, get up, pull your big boy panties up, draws up, and keep it moving, okay? It's going to happen in life. Whether it happens early or whether it happens late, it's going to happen. But instead of raising these mama boys, oh my God, no, she's not going to do that to my son. You're going to do that to my son? You deserve to be unalived. What? Where you do that at? Where do you do that at, okay? So a lack of empathy for this mother to show up at the balloon release, right? Where the girl's family and friends was there celebrating the balloons going up in the air and mourning her death. The mother was there partaking. What type of special kind of evil is that? She lacked empathy, didn't give no damns. After knowing what happened, she didn't even care. Who does this and then show up at the balloon release? A psychopath? How many times have we heard about stories from serial killers, right? They will unalive their victim and then they will come to the virtual. They will come to the balloon release. Some of them maybe even come to the damn funeral. How many times we know of that? Now, I don't know any of that to be in real life, but TV, right? But her ass went to the balloon release, was caught on video at the balloon release. What? Could you have only a sociopath or a psychopath would do something like that? How do you even look in these people's faces? How do you even smile, laugh, continue to go on? How do you look at yourself? She says, that's crazy. Absolutely is. She said, my son wanted to unalive himself on his first rejection. I didn't know what to do. See, you learn how to deal with rejection, and therefore you can teach your son how to deal with rejection. Baby, we all gonna be told no. We all gonna be rejected at one time of our life. Whether it's early on in the life or later on in the life, we're gonna be rejected. Again, it may not be in a relationship. It might be a job. It might be a coworker. It might be a friendship. It might be your church. You know what I mean? You're going to feel some type of rejection. And it's good to teach your children that they will have to experience that. And once it happens, once it comes, you act accordingly, right? And that way they won't be so heartbroken, or they'll still be heartbroken, but they won't, they won't stay down because they can expect it. She said, I explained that it's better than they break up before he went to college in New Orleans and she started college in Florida. Long distance relationship in college may not be healthy for them. Did they break up, Nisi? Did they go their own way? And then what 20-year-old now, I know we got boys and, was my son still telling me things? Yeah, he was telling me things about his relationship at 20. But this is what I was about to say. What 20-year-old man relies on his mother for emotional validation or decision making? Mother boys, mommy boys. Like, seriously, if your son is still texting you at 20 and he relies on you for emotional validation or to make a decision for him, he is absolutely a mother's boy, a mama's boy. Now, some of us have mama boys and we just know it, right? We know we got a mama's boy. But even if you have a mama's boy, you still need to teach your son accountability. You cannot have a mama's boy and teach him that every effing thing that he does is okay, that he shouldn't be held responsible for nothing, okay? So, but it just seems like he wanted her approval before he acted, because he had already said it a few times, remember? I just wanna unalive her. She's sucking me dry. All she's using me for is money. She's sucking me dry. I just wanna unalive her. He said that in a couple of texts before she actually said, if you don't go KI that MF, you a B. And she probably told him that because she probably got tired of him coming to her complaining about the girl. But she was wrong. She was absolutely wrong. She was toxic and she deserved the same thing that he got, life in prison or 2-3 life sentences in prison. All right. And then his mother taught him to feel like the victim. She gave me an STD. He's literally in court saying, I felt like she gave me an STD. She broke up the family. She broke up with me. She didn't want to be with me no more. Like, dude, you're acting like you're the victim while she's over here with 7 gunshot wounds in her body. This dude put 7 gunshot wounds in her body at her place of employment. Who does that? Let's talk about the real consequences of toxic parenting. Toxic parenting most likely breeds toxic kids, all right? When you are toxic yourself, it can sometimes trickle down to your children, all right? And then guess what you do? You teach your kids either to be toxic or to accept toxicity in the relationship, one or the other. You're either teaching your kids that it's okay to be toxic towards someone else, or it's okay to accept toxicity in the relationship. Why? Because they saw your ass being toxic. Whether you was toxic to your, to your husband, or should I say whether your mother was toxic to your dad, or maybe she was toxic to her friends, or even toxic to you guys as a mom. But what a toxic parents don't realize is things trickle down to your children. And then they wonder why they have kids that want to unalive people or turn to drugs and alcohol and, violence, street violence, gangs, because they saw you, mama. They saw you. They saw how you behaved, how you handled things, how you didn't take accountability or hold yourself responsible. They saw you gaslight, you manipulate. They saw you. So they're like, okay, well, this is how you're supposed to do it. Well, it's not how you're supposed to do it. Absolutely. But we don't think about that. We think about ourselves. We don't think about what's going to be our children's future. So as a mom, that's what you should think about. Oh, do I want my kid to grow up in jail? Or my grandchild? Because we do things in front of our kids and our grandchild that we shouldn't be doing, and we don't even realize that we're teaching them to be toxic. You have to be careful what you do and say or behave or how you respond in front of our children. Candy says a pregnant lady got popped outside of Our Lady of Lake Hospital in Baton Rouge just now by her boyfriend. He waited till she got off work and walked up, and she walked out of the building, walked up as she walked out of the building. That's crazy. That's crazy. All because he probably couldn't take rejection, Candy. Thank you so much. Who is this? QC, thank you so much for making some loud noise up in here. I appreciate you, baby. Appreciate you so much. So listen, because he couldn't handle rejection, she probably wanted to move on. We got to start teaching our children how to handle rejections, how to handle somebody wanting to move on from you. Sometimes relationships are not meant to be together forever. We've heard that before. Sometimes the relationships are just here for a season, sometimes for a reason. You know, it might be, oh, well, you know, just to get your child, your daughter or your son or whatever. But it wasn't supposed to be you to stay with them forever. She said he was 16 at the time. He's now 17 and goes to counseling. Okay. She says, or do I want my kids to lie because all these mammy do is lie on the internet? Exactly. That's another thing. Your kids listen to you. They hear you. They see how you behave. So let me ask you this. Do you think that he would have done that if she would not have been encouraging him? If when he told her the first time, I just want to go and pop her, I don't even care no more. If she would have talked him off the ledge and said, son, are you out your mind? That's not what we do. We don't handle conflict this way. If she wants to move on, we let her go. We don't get mad and hold revenge against her. No, now it's only about you and your child. You be there for your child. Y'all relationship with each other is over. But you need to be a father to your child, right? That's the type of conversation that she should have had. Instead of encouraging him, if you don't do it, then you are a bitch. What? Now, I wonder, and you guys tell me what y'all think about this. Do you think that the defense could have argued that his mama basically told him in a nutshell, I will not respect you unless you do it? Do you think that could have been a defense mechanism for him? I was talking to Jay about it, and Jay was like, I feel like the mama should go to jail and, you know, he shouldn't get life. I'm like, why he shouldn't get life? He actually did it, and he's 20 years old. He's an adult, right? I still think that life sentence is definitely warranted, but I believe his mother should get worse. She should get 2 death sentences. Not death, I'm sorry. He didn't get death. He got life in prison. She said, your children watch everything you do, even when you think they're not. Absolutely. And it starts young, and it only gets worse because they watch you, baby. Trust me, they watch you. She said, mine talks to me about everything, and he's 20. Yes, he broke up with I think you mean with her last year when she felt like all was about her when we lost his sister in April. Oh, okay. So you're saying that he broke up with her? She said more is caught than taught. Oh, yeah. So you mean they catch you doing it, so they learn from catching you do something instead of you teaching them how to do it. I get you. Yeah. So here's some red flags in this dynamic with the son and mother, okay? His mother continued to excuse his bad behavior. And let me tell you where that starts. That starts when they 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, okay? Really, it does. When we see kids do stuff, even if we see them cuss or go and smack somebody upside the head or bite somebody or stuff like that, we say, oh, that's so cute. And we laugh at it. We laugh and be like, look at you. He just bopped upside the head, or he just pushed her down, or he just stuck her with a pin. And we laugh at it. Excusing the bad behavior instead of nipping it in the bud right away starts at a very, very young age. If you've excused your child's bad behavior ever since toddler, and now they 30 and 40 years old, and you still excusing their bad behavior, you created yourself a whole monster, okay? All right? So the mother continued to excuse his bad behavior. The fact that he was constantly running to his mother for emotional validation was wrong, because his mother should have taught him how to handle some of that stuff on his own. Not saying that we tell our son, or our children, don't come to me, talk to me about this, don't do that. No, we teach them how to talk themselves through it as well. Not cut yourself off and not be an ear or anything for your child, but teach them how to handle their emotions. You know, you're going to feel this way, you're going to feel that way. And when this happens, when you feel this way, then you can go do this or you go do that. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that she constantly allowed him to run to her for emotional validation was a toxic ass red flag. Okay? The fact that he was comfortable repeatedly texting her violent or irrational thoughts things that he gonna do. Well, I want to do this. I want to do that. She allowed him to get away with it. She allowed him to get away with that instead of, like I said, instead of checking him. Dude, are you out your mind? Did you just text me this? Have you lost it? You know? The fact that well, no, I won't say that one because that doesn't make any sense. Okay, okay, the fact that she ignored his cries. She instead of saying, oh, I'm gonna take you to counseling, you're really feeling it right now. You're grieving, and she could have told her son not to be controlling, right? Sometimes it's okay to tell your son, you know what, son? And especially when they're young and they come to you with their problems and say, it's okay for you to say, son, I do believe that you was controlling. You are controlling her. You were trying to isolate her, telling her she can't have no friends. She can't be around her family. That's not a good thing to do, right? So sometimes, let me just tell y'all a story. So, of course, we was in our 30s when I very first met Jay's mom. So I called myself, even after Jay had told me not to ever do this, he said, don't ever, ever, ever go to my mom with our business. He told me this. He said, please don't go to my mom with our business, right? And I can't remember at the time why he told me that, but he did. He said, don't go to our mom and talk about our business to my mother. So I did it anyway. I went to his mother and I complained about him. Well, when his mother replied to me, well, he is the man, like basically in a nutshell, I don't know what the hell you're telling me for. He the man and I'm going to side with him no matter what, right? Because that's my son. That is the vibe I got from her from the very, very first time that I ever took any information out of our home to her. She totally took up for her son. She totally made me feel like shit. And I have never went to her complaining about our relationship ever, ever again. Ever again. One, because he told me not to. He been told me not to. And two, she's a mom that's not going to see no wrong in her son. He's the hero in her eyes and she will not see any wrong. So why go to the mom and talk to the mom when they're not going to hold you accountable and they're not going to side with you over their child? Now, for me, I used to tell my kids, my son's baby mama, well, they were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time, I literally used to tell her, that is not my business. That's y'all business. Work it out. I didn't want to hear it because I didn't want to have to take my son's side and I didn't want to have to take her side. So I told them that they needed to work it out or go their own separate ways. Now, I don't know if you guys are the type of moms that get in between you and your son, your children's grown ass kids relationship, but I was not that type of mama. I did not want to do it. So I said, no. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. Y'all go talk about that. Now, raise your hand if you are like one of the ones that get in between your adult children's relationship and sit them down and you tell them this and you tell her that. Do y'all do that? To each his own, but I just don't. Do anybody in here do that? Literally listen to the woman's side, then listen to the man's side, and then try to figure out a solution. Anybody? She says, hey, y'all, what we talking about? We talking about toxic parentings. Toxic parentings lead to toxic children. She said, but when they start speaking irrationally, we as parents aren't supposed to, hold on. It says, but when they start speaking irrationally, we as the parent, I think you mean are supposed to have them seek help and also tell them right from wrong. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with calling your damn child out. You can love your child. I think that that shows more love, right? If you're teaching your child right from wrong, it's showing him or her that you love them more, right? Allowing them to go down a rabbit hole of violence or trouble or whatever, in my opinion, is not showing love. It's quite the opposite, all right? She says, I am a fixer, so I listen to both. Oh, okay, Tia, I got you. She said, nope, my mom didn't get in mind. I never tell her anything, okay? She says, no, I always tell my son, y'all will be all right, but I do ask. You said, do ask, why are they fighting? You said you do ask, why are they fighting? If there's disrespect involved, yes, okay. Never, my door is always open for counseling, okay. Thank you, Livette, appreciate that love. Good afternoon, you guys. She said, I don't pick sides. I have got into it with my daughter because right is right and wrong is wrong. Okay. Hey, more in chat, a little behind, but this is sad as F. It is. It is absolutely. Thank you, Des. It is absolutely. It's sad that this 18-year-old had to lose her life when simply the mother could have been a damn mama and stopped her damn son from having a pity party, right? The relationship was over, but let me tell you, the fact that they were still sleeping together meant that she still had some type of feelings for him, right? That they could have really gotten back after a while if he would have went to counseling and worked out his controlling issues, his isolation issues, you know, wanting to keep her isolated, wanted to control her, you know, wanted to disrespect her. He could have worked on himself and they could have literally ended back up together, right? But he's in court saying she gave me an STD. I unalived her because I thought she gave me an STD. No, you really unalived her because she wanted to move on from you. She wanted to just co-parent in peace. She did not want to be in that toxic ass relationship with you because your mama taught you to be toxic. Okay. Let's talk about signs that we need to stop ignoring. All right. If you are dealing with this, if you know or see this in your son, if you see any type of toxic traits in your son, you cannot ignore it. Again, he texted her and said, I want to unalive her because all she's doing is taking money from me, right? If that was the first violent text that he sent to her, she should have handled it instead of tried to ignore it. And what I mean by handle it, not encouraging him to go ahead and do it, but seek counseling, go even turn him in, even turn him into the police. He's talking about unaliving somebody. I mean, you got to show your son that much love, right? Also, you need to protect yourself. If somebody is sending you a text and they're telling you that they want to unalive someone, in order for you to protect yourself, guess what you're supposed to do? Now, I know we don't all do it because I'm pretty sure some of us have heard it, probably not from our kids, but from people that we used to be cool with. They tell you they want to unalive somebody. We just sit there and we just be like, we don't believe them, right? We be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But guess what? You're supposed to protect yourself. If they are showing tendencies or they have repeated that to you, you're supposed to document it and seek legal help. You're supposed to reach out to the authorities. So the fact that her son texted her and said, I'm just going to go ahead and pop her. I don't even care at this point. He said, I don't give a F at this point what happens. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Though that was days and days and days before he actually did it. Thank you so much, Ashley, for making some noise up in here with that $20 tip. Appreciate you, love. So her duty was to go report it to the authorities, but she didn't. But what did she say? She said, delete my text because I don't want to get caught texting you. What? That's not a good nurturing mother, huh? Another thing, things that you should do if you see these signs with your children, you should set boundaries, okay? You should really set the boundaries and even tell him, be honest, son, you are not ready for a relationship. Set boundaries and just be 100% honest. You are not ready for a relationship. Your boundaries is, son, you need to go to a counselor. Don't come talk to me about things like this. I don't want to hear you telling me you're going to unalive someone. If you're thinking about doing something like that, you need to seek counseling. You should never make it okay for your kids to be able to come tell you that they feeling, a homicidal. If they tell you that, they need to understand that you're going to go and seek help. You love your child that much that you're going to go and seek help. Instead of encouraging it on. All right. So again, Keith, the young fellow, the 20-year-old, he is 100% responsible for the crime. That is no doubt. He's already been sentenced for life in prison. But that mother of his, that nasty, disgusting, horrible ass mother of his played a major role in shaping his mindset. She made this boy feel entitled. she made it okay for him to want to seek revenge instead of being able to accept rejection. She made him like that. She encouraged his rants of, oh, I want to harm, I want to harm, I want to harm. And then she sent a text and said, if you don't do it already, you are a B. She told her son that. You are a B. What is her defense? She don't have one. Toxic parenting breeds toxic people. And guess what? If you ever or your daughter ever get with a toxic young fella, get them away from them. And you know what? What else? I would encourage everybody that if your young daughter is dating a guy, meet the parents. Because sometimes getting to know who the parents are, you will be able to teach your daughter some things and save her, possibly her life. Meet the parents, because I'm sure the mother had signs. The fact that she was allowing him to be a whole mama's boy right there shows signs, okay? Of course, like I just said, you have to recognize the signs, teach our daughters and sons, right? But definitely get to know the other parent. She will probably get just as much time as he, if not more. Yep. Well, right now they're seeking life without parole. If she is found guilty, she will not see a light of day again. Some of these mothers too invested in their son's relationship. You are absolutely right, and I know some of them was like that. Well, I'm just gonna be honest. My sister was like that, and I told her because my sister couldn't stand her son's baby mama, and I said, "Why are you even in it? Why? That's his. He's 30 something. That's his responsibility. Why are you even in it?" She said, "Did she get charged?" So she got charged, but she haven't been found guilty yet because it was a mistrial, and so they have to do another trial. Okay. But trust, I believe that she's going to be found guilty and she's going to spend the rest of her life in prison. Okay. Let me ask y'all something. What do y'all think is the number one red flag of a toxic mother-son relationship in your opinion? If your daughter came home and told you something, what would be the signs that you say, oh yeah, that's toxic? What is one of the red flags that the mother and the son have a toxic relationship? I can think of several. And I told both of my kids this, and I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all. I know y'all going to put it in the comments for me, but sometimes it's a little delay. If you ever see your kid's boyfriend or girlfriend cuss out their parents, that's a big no-no right there. Right? For my son, I told my son, if you ever have a date a girl and she disrespect her mom or disrespect her dad, run. Okay? She said, mother has too much control. Even when he's wrong, the mother take his side. And she took her ass to the balloon release. Oh, wow. Yes, Des. That's what somebody should have whooped her ass, but they didn't know. Open communication with my son is key. Come to me no matter what. I'd rather him talk to me than the streets. But even as an adult, I understand at 15, 16, 17, but I'm talking about in his 20s or 30s, you rather him come to you than anybody else at that late age? He was 20 though, so he's still kind of young. She said, Mr. Moore, no, they are not fighting. I asked him that. Then I just say they would be all right. Okay, I got you. She said the mother always jumping in the son's fights. Yeah. So now if your son is dating a girl that disrespects her mother, or if your daughter is dating a guy that cusses his mama out, what would you tell him? Because is that not a red flag? This makes me think of what else he done did and she helped cover up. Exactly, Des. It's okay. Let's get down to business. It's okay. Oh, verbal abuse. So if you see your son and the mother verbally abuse each other, you feel like that's the number one red flag? What do you think? What's the number one red flag of a toxic mother-son relationship? They always arguing with each other. The mother telling him, she ain't for you because, we do that all the time. Instead of letting our son pick, we be like, nah, she ain't no good for you. Nuh-uh, let me find you somebody. The mother always trying to hook her son up with somebody, maybe. Oh, I think you should date her. Now we will do it now because I done seen some pretty girls that when my son was single, I done seen some pretty girls that I'd be like, you'll be so great for my son. But it's not our jobs to find our son their relationship. If you disrespect your parents, you don't respect anyone. I am sorry, especially when you have good parents. Exactly. She said they are too close, like relationship close, cursing at each other. Cursing at each other. What do you think about doing drugs in front of each other? Do you think that is a toxic dynamic of a son or a parent-child relationship? Because we see that even here on YouTube. We see some parents be doing drugs, smoking weed, drinking with their kids. Are y'all okay with that? Are y'all okay with that? She said, oh yeah. Do y'all drink with your son? Do y'all smoke with your son, daughter? Party with them? Would you party with your 20-year-old? I wouldn't. But that's just me. I mean, nah, hell no. My daughter would not date a guy that cursed his mother. Okay, so you taught your daughter well. Because if he cursed his mother, he is not going to have respect for your daughter, okay? If a guy cussed his mom, which it seems like they had that type of relationship, she allowed that type of nonsense to go on in her home. They texting each other, already cussing. He already cussing in front of her. She said, I have seen parents smoke with their kids and party with their kids. That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's toxic, but I mean, that's just me. Some people may not feel that way, but I feel like that's toxic. That's a red flag, right? My son is 25 and I refuse to go to the club with him. I don't want to go to the club. I don't want to see what he does. Hell no. No. I don't want to go to the club with my son. I don't want to drink with my son. I don't want to smoke weed with my son, even though I don't do that mess anyway. But I wouldn't want to do that. Definitely not in front of my son, or daughter. Or daughter. Now, I do say that sometimes when the daughter get a little older, I do see sometimes mothers go out and they chill with their daughter in that way. But I'm saying around the age of 20, because your child is really not, yeah, they adult because they're over 18, but I mean 20, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're really not an adult, but even though legally they are, but they're really not in their mind. She said, you are a parent for life. That part, man, you are a parent for life. I told my son that before. He's like, I'm not a child no more, but guess what? I will always be your mama. I will always be your parent. Always. When my daughter started going out and ended up in the same place I was, at that point, I was done going out. I feel you. I understand, Jenny. I understand. If your daughter, you end up in the same place, you're like, yeah, okay, it's time for me to hang it up. It's time for me to hang it up. She said, how they treat their parents is how they would treat you. Absolutely. No, I would never party with my kids. When my son was a teen, I think, okay, hold on, let me read. You said, when my son was a teen, I think they used to be calling each other cousin. That was the word his generation used. He called me that one day. I went up his ass and came down the other. I said, I'm not your friend. Oh. So when your son was a teen, he used to be calling each other cousin. Who did he call cousin to? Or cuz? I would never party with my kids. We know somebody that smoke weed and party with their daughter. She ain't shit. You so funny, Candy. She said, me and my man were out at a bar and my daughter friend came running up to me. Miss J. I was like, nope, time for me to hang it up. Exactly. She says, I am 42 years old with a 30-year-old nephew and we have never partied together. We both smoke weed, but we have never smoked together. My family just isn't like that. It's probably, let me tell you something. What people don't understand is when you do start doing that, right? You start partying with them, you start smoking weed with them, you start drinking with them, you start allowing them to cuss around you. You are training and coaching them to treat you as their equal. Okay? They're seeing you as their equal. You are putting yourself out of the guardianship role. Y'all are equal. Y'all partying together. Y'all getting drunk together. Y'all are smoking together. You're doing all that stuff together. You're teaching them to look at you as their equal. You know? My friend used to disrespect her mom, but she would always smoke crack. Oh, wait a minute. My friend used to disrespect her mom, but she was always smoking crack, but she respected her grandmother. She doesn't matter if the mom is a drunk or on drugs. So she respects her grandmother because her grandmother set boundaries. Okay? Her grandmother set boundaries. The fact that her, again, I had a situation where my nieces and nephews weren't allowed to say, things to me like bruh or word or whatever the words were back in the day, right? They wouldn't talk that slang to me. Even when they text me and they say, Auntie, you ain't text me back. And I say, you ain't text me. And they say, yes, I did. And I said, no, you didn't. They said, see? And I said, that ain't texting me. I don't understand now. One word on this damn text. Don't text me like that. If you want a text or response from me, you're going to speak English to me. Don't come with that half-ass shit that I got to sit here and try to decipher what you mean. So I set boundaries with my nieces and my nephews, and they don't treat me like they treat their parents, period. Why? Because I set boundaries. As a parent, as an adult, you have to set boundaries. You cannot allow your child to think that they can just say whatever. If you start letting your child call you bruh, cuz, or word, or, whatever the slang is, right? What you want? See, I don't respond. I say, oh, you ain't talking to me. I know you weren't talking to me. I know you weren't talking. What do you mean I was talking to you? No, you're not. No, oh, absolutely not. Not me. Because you don't talk to me that way. They know it though. And that's why you see they will give other people respect before they give you respect because you haven't nipped it in the bud. You haven't set boundaries. You haven't developed a zero tolerance. You allow your kids to do whatever. You encourage the bullshit. Like, okay, let me ask y'all this. If somebody on the internet is talking shit to your child and they keep saying, pull up, pull up, pull up, and your child want to pull up, would you take your child to the fight? Because I've seen that happen too. This shit has happened in real life where a mother would drive her child to the location and they both end up deceased. Somebody got to be the parent. Who is going to be the parent? Who's going to tell their child no? Huh? Who's going to tell their child, you need to ignore this noise? You need to make it home. You need to live another day. Don't let nobody trick you off this earth. This is just internet BS. Ignore it. Move around. Right? But it's some parents be like, oh, they say they want to fight you? Come on, let's go. I'm going to drive you to the fight. That is not a good mother. That is not a good father. That is not a good parent when they encourage your toxic ass behaviors, period. Even with stealing. If you stole somebody at the store, how many times when your child was young, because this happened to me before as well. We was in Kmart. My son took some Skittles. My son loves Skittles, even to this day. He took some Skittles off the rack at Kmart. I did not know it until we was walking to the car. And I seen him eating the damn Skittles. And I'm like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, hell to the no. I snatched the Skittles out of his hand. And we walked back into the store. And I said, I am so sorry. So sorry. My son grabbed these Skittles and we didn't pay for them. How much do I owe y'all? And they rung them up. They rung them up. Because if I would have just continued to go to the car, then I'm teaching my son it's okay to steal. It's okay to snatch something off the shelf and just start eating it. And we just get in the car and go home. That's not what you do. Hey, Sean. She said, hey, morning, ladies. Happy Wednesday. Hey, baby. Yeah, so you don't do that. You tell them, no, you don't do this. If you want some Skittles, you ask me for it. And if I tell you no is no, right? If I tell you is no. But if I get them for you, I do. But if I would have continued on and got in the car, guess what? The next time we went into Kmart, my son would have grabbed another thing of Skittles. You know what I'm saying? And they probably would have put him in kitty jail. You know, you can't just allow stuff like that to happen. She said, facts. All my nieces and nephews treat my sisters like she's one of them. Exactly is what I'm saying. Yes. You want to know why? Because wasn't no boundaries set. Healthy relationship was not formed. It's not okay to not have a healthy relationship with your child. And a healthy relationship is teaching them right from wrong. Allowing them to cuss in front of you and a child, right, or a kid cuss in front of you. And I see hear people say, it don't matter. I don't care. I don't care if my child cuss, right? You're not teaching healthy habits for your relationship, your child-mother relationship, son-mother relationships. They are just as important as daddy and child relationship. We sit here and care, and we try to cater and foster and just put whipped cream all over the daddy and the son, or the daddy and the daughter relationship. But we don't foster good, healthy, emotionally healthy, mentally healthy, psychologically healthy relationships between mama and son and mama and daughter. Now, there is a saying, and I don't know where it originates from, but it says that mothers raise their daughters and they spoil their sons. Y'all ever heard of that? By the show of hands, have you ever heard of that? Mothers spoil their sons and they raise their daughters. So the saying was derived because mothers can be a little harder on their daughters, right? They hold their daughters accountable for the bullshit that they do, and they overlook and they baby and they pacify these sorry ass boys. Why is that? Why do we do that? Why do we keep the boys on the titty, but we tell the girl that she needs to figure it out, or, you know what I mean? Or, you know, man, make sure you get an education, make sure you get a job, but your child can drop out and you will make excuses for him. Sometimes we'll even pay his rent, pay his child support. We just make excuses for him after excuse, after excuse, after excuse. Instead of telling him he need to get it out the ground the way we tell our daughters. We raise our daughters and we spoil our boys. She said, my sons won't curse in front of me, and if they do, they will immediately apologize. My home was very disciplined. 4 sons, I have no choice. Absolutely. And I've heard your son before say, I heard your son ask one time, Mom, can I say that? And I don't even think it was a cuss word, but he was like, Mom, can I say that? And I thought it was too cute. He asked your permission, can he say a word? I thought that was too cute. But anybody, so no one has heard that saying, mothers raise their daughters and spoil their sons? Am I the only one that's heard that? Anybody? Another sign, while y'all typing, another sign of a toxic mama-son relationship is when the mother automatically jump in the son's relationship. Automatically just jump in. I don't know if I would want to be dating a guy and me and him get into it, and then all of a sudden his mama just jump in and act like it's her damn relationship. Act like she arguing with me. I'll be like, what? Where you come from? You ain't got nothing to do with this, right? Have y'all experienced that? Where your mama jump in without even being invited in, but she jumps in the relationship and defend her son, right? But all of a sudden she got attitude or whatever with you because she feels like, you know, you just wronged her. But it's her son's relationship or her son's problem. She said, yep, I've heard it and seen it all the time. Okay. Someone said that's a single mama thing. Oh, you think only single mothers raise their daughters and spoil their sons? I can see what you mean, because you're saying single mama because if the daddy's there, the daddy put his foot down on the boys, is what you're saying? That might be true. We might spoil our sons because their daddy's not around. I can see that. We're trying to overcompensate for them. We're trying to be the mama and the son. The mama and the daddy to our boys. I can see that. I can see that being a single mother thing, because if the daddy was in the house, what are we going to do? Dad or Jay, get your son, get your son, get your son, because the daddy going to straighten them, right? The daddy going to jack them up, put them on a wall, talk, with the loud deep tone or whatnot, right? The daddy gonna get them straight. I don't know too many daddies just gonna let their son just, you know, run around like a loose cannon. They gonna handle it. You know what I mean? She said, let's talk about toxic sisters. Maybe that'd be another live. We talk about toxic sisters. You talking about the ones that always want to take up for their brother and fight the girlfriends or whatever. I understand what you mean. That'll be another live stream, because I've experienced a little of that as well. They do have some toxic sisters that want to kick your butt and all that stuff. But today we on toxic mothers to these. The reason why some of these toxic ass men are toxic because they damn mama was toxic, or whoever raised them was toxic, whether it was a mama or their grandmama. Somebody in that house was toxic and they saw it and it trickled down, and that's why they ass is out here today toxic, right? She says, and if you want the daughter to be able to stand on her own if she has to. Yeah, I understand you want the daughter to be able to stand on her own, but why we're not helping the son the same way? The son needs to be able to stand on his own, right? The son needs to be weaned from the titty as well. A lot of us will keep the son on the titty and we'll tell the daughter, no, you got to come off the titty, figure it out, come off the titty. But we'll keep the son on the titty. Why is that? We will keep breastfeeding them, keep saving them. Why is that? Why do we do that? Why do we do that? So, yeah, I'm definitely going to chime in on that because I'm a victim of that. Oh, you're talking about the sisters abuse? Yeah, we'll do that one day. We will do a segment of sisters, toxic sisters. Yeah. She said, I've seen a lot of mothers treating their sons like their man of the house. Please stop calling your young child daddy. Now, I've never heard anybody call their young child daddy, but I have heard mothers, single moms, tell their son, you are now the man of this house, or the man of the house, or the head of the house, or, you know, yes, I have definitely heard some women tell their sons, and their son might be 13, 14, 15, and they've just been put in the responsibility of being the man of the house. I have seen that. I have heard that. Now, I have never heard them call their young child daddy. Never, ever have I heard that. You know? She says, what? That's crazy. Yeah, that is to call your young child daddy. But I have definitely heard single mothers say, you're now the man of the house. You're the man of the house. You responsible for this, responsible for that. Yes, I've heard that before. Yeah. So anyway, I literally just wanted to come out here and just go over this live true case about a mother failing her son. I mean, she failed him miserably. Now he's sitting with life behind prison bars. The mother, the 18-year-old mother, is gone. She's about to be sentenced to life. And there's a 2-year-old out there that just lost their mama, their daddy, and their grandmother. A 2-year-old. Literally, she just lost her mama, her daddy, and her grandmother. 2 gonna be locked up for life, and 1 is in heaven. What a tragic story. Very toxic, tragic story that, in my opinion, could have been prevented. When this boy was sending out text messages to his mama, complaining that she wanted to move on, right? And complaining about he should just get rid of her because she's spending all his money, meaning i.e. child support. She should have acted differently. Now she got the rest of her life to think about what she should have, could have, would have done, but she didn't. She said, my son will have a drink with his dad, but I will not drink with them when they do. How old is your son, Miss Pamela? Yeah, this is a very toxic relationship. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Let me show y'all this clip right here. Hold on. This is them in court where the mama looking so pitiful, like, girl, you ain't got time to be looking like that. Hold on, let me see if I can.
Drama in the jury room.
Hold on, let me see if I can bring it up this way. Now, they did have a mistrial because one of the jurors fell asleep. I mean, not fell asleep. Why do I keep saying that? Was doing a crossword puzzle. Hold on. Let's bring it up.
Drama in the jury room leads to a mistrial in the murder case of Sheila Agee, the woman accused of helping her son kill the mother of his child.
WKRGD's 5's Alexa Daly spoke with a juror about what happened and why the judge made that decision.
Concerns arise during jury deliberations.
I could hear it. I was listening.
One member of the jury accused of not paying attention and doing crossword puzzles.
That's just the way I do. I just do that. And I had no idea. And then when they told me that I wasn't supposed to do it, I stopped.
But that wasn't the only accusation that derailed the case. The jury complained about the quote.
Okay, so did y'all hear what she said? She said she was doing it, and when she told that she couldn't do it, she stopped. Now, I'm going to say this right quick because I have to be honest. Sometimes in order for a person to, their mind not to be all over the place, they have to keep themselves busy. Have y'all ever heard of that? Some people play games on their phone or like she does crossword puzzles or whatever in order to stay awake, not fall asleep. You know what I mean? And so their mind won't go crazy because sometimes your mind, you know, your wires in your head be trying to get crossed. So she said, this is something that I do. And when they told me not to do it, I stopped doing it. You know what I mean?
Unhinged nature of a juror. The judge called in every juror and asked if they had concerns about their safety. 2 replied yes. One juror told the judge they felt threatened by an argumentative juror, and another juror who has a pacemaker was concerned about their rising heart rate. Because of the issues, the defense motioned for a mistrial. Judge Coleman Robinson granted the request.
Another jury will have to come back and listen to the evidence in front of another jury. They're hopefully certain will follow common sense, will follow the law. We will treat their fellow jurors with decency and appropriateness, and will reach a verdict, whatever that may be, that is a fair and just verdict for both sides.
Sheila Agee is charged with principal to first-degree murder, accused of helping her son kill Brooklyn Sims, the mother of his child, inside a Pensacola Home Depot. In Pensacola, Alexa Daly, WKRG News 5.
So it was a mistrial, not because they didn't think that she was guilty or anything like that. It was a mistrial because she was caught doing crossword puzzle, or one of the jurors was caught doing crossword puzzles while they were doing deliberation, okay? And they thought that it would be fair to the, lady, Sheila Agee or whatever. Hold on, let me pull this up. If they had juries that was actually listening directly to everything that was going on. Okay, so I'm sure she was happy, but I still think that she ended up she's still in jail. Hold on, let's listen to a little bit of this one. Which one is this one? Oh, look at her at Home Depot when hold on. Let's look at her in Home Depot when this happened. Hold on.
Nearly 20 witnesses taking the stand today as testimony began in Sheila Agee's murder trial. Agee is charged with principal to first-degree murder in connection with the shooting death of Brooklyn Sims inside a Pensacola Home Depot last year.
She's accused of coordinating the killing with her son through a series of text messages. Tanner Stewart is live outside the courthouse now with more details. Tanner?
Bob, 10 people testified before noon today. The trial is moving fast. In total, 17 people took the stand, from the medical examiner to a forensic analyst showing crime scene photos to an investigator with the sheriff's office who detailed line by line the text exchange between Sheila Agee and Keith Agee the day leading up to the shooting. We also saw surveillance footage today, angles that we didn't see during Keith Agee's trial. Now, a lot of the surveillance footage that we saw lines up with the text exchange between mother and...
She's texting him right now, you guys, telling him where the girl is at in the store. Can you imagine that? This mother is seen on camera texting her son. She's on aisle 5. She's right here. She just walked down here. She came back here. Can you imagine that? She's literally at the job. They work together. And she's texting her son the location of his baby mama.
Son, you can see Sheila Agee in this surveillance pacing through the store, barely looking up, constantly looking on her phone and walking back to the same spot. She walks to the entrance of the store several times and looks out anxiously. She does this over and over for more than an hour before finally walking back, and what coworkers say, just went back to work. And just minutes later is when Keith Agee walks in the store and kills Brooklyn Sims. Now, Sheila Agee's attorney, Chris Raby, argues that Sheila was acting as a lookout to shield Brooklyn Sims from getting shot. We also heard today from a deputy who was.
Do y'all hear that bull crap? Her defense is trying to say she was trying to be a lookout to try to stop her son from doing what he said he was going to do, right? But she didn't think that they were going to find that text message that said, if you don't unalive her, you are a bitch.
Responded first to the scene, who described the aftermath first. So I want you to listen to Sheila Agee's attorney.
She's positioning herself there because she doesn't want Brooklyn to be killed. You're going to find out that she's got a relationship with Brooklyn. She gave Brooklyn a job. She supports Brooklyn. She had no reason for Brooklyn to get killed. None.
When you got there, what was the scene like?
Oh my God.
Pretty chaotic. Some people were still running to get to vehicles. Some were hiding behind things.
There were a few issues today, abrupt breaks caused by the jury. Just moments before the trial was expected to start, a juror was excused over family matters. In the middle of a testimony, one juror was warned for not using crossword puzzles. Another abruptly got sick, and the trial was stopped for a moment. They did bring that juror back, and the trial begins again tomorrow, at 9 a.m. Reporting live tonight in downtown Pensacola, I'm Tanner Stewart.
Her charge was principal. Her charge was principal to first degree. I think was it meditated murder? Hold on. It is, her charge is, give me a second. I had it. I think it's principal to first degree meditated murder, but let me see. Yeah, it is principal to first degree premeditated murder. Principal to first degree premeditated murder, which holds a life sentence. Okay, so her ass is definitely going to go down. I don't know why she thinks she's going to get away with that, but they did have a mistrial, and you know, sometimes when you have a mistrial, I guess you just pray that they that they don't never have the trial again. But it's not happening. They're gonna definitely have the trial. Okay, let's see the scene of it happening, you guys. We're not gonna watch this whole thing, just the beginning of the scene. That's him right there. You see, he done came out of Home Depot with his hands up. Like, why in the world would you just want your child to lose his whole life? Like, there's no cameras outside, no cameras inside. Like, what in the world was he thinking? What in the world was he thinking?
An active shooter was reported at a local Home Depot in Escambia County, leaving 1 dead and 2 injured.
Today, the woman shot to death inside a Home Depot in Pensacola is being identified as 18-year-old Brooklyn Sims.
See, I didn't even realize that he injured 2 other people. So during his little tirade throughout Home Depot, popping her 7 times. Popping her 7 times at Home Depot. And that's probably another reason why he got life. He should have been charged not just with her, her M, murder, he should have also been charged with, putting all these other people's lives in danger. Like, who does that? What? Like, are you kidding me right now?
Mattered, but regardless of which one it may have been, they were in fear for their lives. And although no patron could predict the experience that they would face in Home Depot that Friday afternoon, there was, however, one contract employee who knew a lot more than she was initially letting on. What information did this employee have, and who was the active shooter? Was the deceased person the intended target, or was this a random act of violence? To answer these and many other questions, let's take a
It was absolutely planned, plotted, and carried out exactly the way she intended for it to be. Let me read. You said, Amor, I just put under your post a link of a girl calling get your son daddy. We have a bad storm here, so it's not allowing me to put it in the inbox. Okay, all right, but you put it under this post. Okay, I'll take a look at it. Thank you. Sean said, yep, she is done. They're definitely going to retry it again unless she does a plea deal. Yeah, well, if she does a plea deal, but I don't think they're going to accept anything less than life because, not just life, but without parole because, it was clear. Let me do something right quick. Let me pull up the text messages. It was several, actually. Hold on one second. I'm going to read them to y'all. All right, hold on. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let me see if I can read y'all these text messages. All right, here we go. All right, so here's some text messages. Okay. All right, so here's one. If you don't come K her, you are a MF and B. Okay, that's what we say. If you don't come K her, you are a MF and B. That's one. And it says, here's another one. So he says, but that's another thing. If she don't get out that car, mama, and I have to drag her out, or can I'm gonna just ask you to step in because I'm gonna open the door and just pop her. Now he's saying the S word, SHOOT, but I'm saying pop her, okay? Then the mother said, as long as you don't pop me, hell, if you getting off work now, I'll give you the address here and you can just ride over here and do it so you don't have to do it in front of your daughter, okay? And then he says, okay, send it to me. And then she says, hold on, let me get it. Erase the text because I don't want nobody to know I was texting you, stupid ass. That's what she told him. She called him stupid ass. Literally, she called her son. She said, hold up, let me erase the text because I don't want nobody to know I was texting you, stupid ass. Wow. Let me see if there's more. So she was already talking to her son crazy. That lady crazy. Hold on, let me see what there's more. She called him a straight stupid ass. All right, hold on. Here, let's listen to this right quick.
Here's a look at what we're working on for you today. An Alabama woman accused of helping her son kill his ex-girlfriend in the middle of a Pensacola Home Depot is on trial for her alleged role in the murder. Although her son, Keith Agee, confessed to the shooting, Sheila Agee has not only denied the allegations she was an accomplice, but she claims she was trying to protect Brooklyn Sims from being killed. Sheila Agee was indicted as a principal to first-degree premeditated murder after text messages uncovered by investigators allegedly show the mother-son duo helping each other locate Sims and kill her. Keith Agee was convicted last December, just 4 months after the shooting. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Sheila also faces life in prison without the possibility of parole. And some Escambia County students will have the chance to attend a 1-week program at the National Flight Academy, all beginning in January.
Okay, so I thought she was going to talk about the text messages. So it don't look like she's going to talk about it. Hold on. Let me see if I can get someone to talk about the text messages. I heard earlier a lawyer breaking it down, saying what some of it meant. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I think right here. Oh, yeah, here's a lot of it. A lot more. Oh, yeah, this is all of them. All right. All right, it says the following are text messages between Keith and Sheila. Keith says she ain't gonna do nothing but cost me money. She ain't do nothing. This is Ebonics, y'all. She ain't do nothing but cost me money and gave me a disease. I'm finna go and pop her. I hate that for our daughter, but like I said, I can't take it no more. I don't give a F. And the mama said, okay, I'll call you and tell you, you mother effer, if you want to go to jail, I'll tell you when we get close. Wait a minute. She said, okay, I'll call you and tell you, MF, if you want to go to jail, I'll tell you when we get close. But if you don't come and K her, then you are a MF and B. He says, and then she says, and don't call Nanny and tell her she will try and talk you out of it. Now, this is the mama. Oh my God, Jesus. And then Keith says, I don't even gonna tell her I left. I'm just gonna say I gotta go to the dentist. Then the mother says, don't even go there. She won't know you left. Don't pop her in my MFing car. I don't want to die. And he says, I'm not. And then she says, wait till I put her out. He says, I was gonna wait until she got out. And then the mama said, okay. Then he says, but that's another thing. If she don't get out the car, Mom, I'm gonna have to drag her out. Or can't, I'm gonna ask you to, or if I can't, I'm gonna ask you to step in because I'm gonna open the door and just pop her. Then the mother says, as long as you don't pop me. And he says, hell, if you getting off work now, oh no, she said, hell, if you getting off work now, I'll just give you the address here and you can ride over here and do it so you don't have to do it in front of your daughter. He said, send it to me. She said, we just in Pensacola. He says, I'm on the way, send it. And she says, hold up, let me get it, erase the text because I don't want nobody to know I've been texting you, stupid ass. And then he says, I already deleted mine, trust me. I ain't gonna say shit about us even talking. I guess that's what I mean. And then he said, what's the address? And then she says, I can't wait to get back to the store to give you the address because you're going to have to pop me today. I done told you about cussing me. What? She says, I can't wait to get back to the store to give you the address because you're going to have to pop me today. I done told you about cussing me. This is the mama. And then he says, all I want is that address, mama. I don't have time. I'm done talking. I done talked enough. This is Ebonics, y'all. I know what's going to happen and I'm okay with that. I done already been thinking it through and this is the only way for me. I don't care why you so quick to start shit with me, bruh. But again, be scared of Brooklyn or something. I don't know. And she said, you're gonna be on the floor, right? And then he said, you're gonna be on the floor, right? She says, waiting on you. And then he says, I'm saying I'm gonna have to find her in the back or something. The mama says no. And he says, okay. And then Then he says, stay out my way. And the mother says, I am. And then he says, LOL, man, get off my phone. All I needed was the address. Leave me alone. Finish your work day. And you is to forget. You is to, and you is too, I forgot, just me. I don't even know what that means. Hold on, let me see. LOL, man, get off my phone. All I needed was the address. Leave me alone. Finish your work day. And you is too, I forgot, just me. I don't even know what the hell that means. And he said, so the last thought of her knowing she effed and the regret in her face will be enough to satisfy me. I don't give a F what she's seen when she DEAD, yet the F she do. How the F I'ma pick her up when your sorry ass trying to go gamble or hang out. Jackson, and she don't pick up the phone. Nah, that ain't even gonna fly. She just died before I get that continue. Oh, Lord. The mother said, okay, I don't care. Do what you do. I don't give a F because I'm going home today, not to hell or to jail. And he says, good for you. And the mother said, okay, then stop texting me. I'm working. Do whatever you want to do. It don't affect me either fucking way. Because of the text message, Sheila was also charged with first-degree murder. Well, principal to first-degree murder. She was arrested. So it sounds like a little bit like she was, I don't know. I don't think that's trying to talk him down. But they were toxic together. He's 20 years old. He's saying, get off my phone. She's saying, get off my phone. And he's like, all I wanted was the address. So they had an old crazy freaking mother-son relationship anyway. Him telling his mother, get off my phone. I don't want to talk to you. What the hell? She said, in cases like that, the only reason they would agree to do a plea if she agrees to give a clean confession and not waste taxpayer money or another trial. She's going to jail either way. Yes, she's going to jail. She's going to jail. Absolutely. I bet they both been menaces to each other in the community for years. Yep, they probably even fought. The mother is clear to me that she ain't give no damns about him and he ain't get no damns about her. She said, we have to type it like they said. Girl, about to give me a headache over here. Hey, more in chat, clocking in to listen. She said, I'm sorry, they sound like they have done this before. They probably have. She said, so freaking sad they hunted her down. They did. And the whole time she didn't even know. Didn't even know. She says, I remember this case from True Crimes. This was crazy. The mama is a nutcase. And to top it all off, the girl didn't even have an STD. So his nasty ass was the one out here bogus. Absolutely, she did not have an STD. The poor baby had no mom or dad. Yeah, the 2-year-old, yeah, she just left out there on her own. No mama, no dad, and now no damn grandmother. She must be a young ghetto mother. No, she's not. Let me find out how old the mama is. She don't look, I mean, look at the photos. That lady don't look like she no young grandmother. Look at her. Hold on. Look at the mama. But let me find out how old she was. I'll tell you in a minute. She is 51. Well, she was 51 at the time of being charged. And this was just last year. So she was, no. She was 50 at the time. So she's 51 now. She was 50 at the time it happened. So she's 51 and he's 20. That ain't no young mama. She had him when she was 30 or something like that. That ain't no young mama. She just probably got tired of his bullshit. Oh, hell no. Look at her. Look at her. She definitely ain't no young mama. Oh, hold on. Let me move this out the way. Look at her. Look at her mugshot. 50-year-old Sheila has been, she was extradited too. She had went back to Alabama. She charged with helping her son murder his baby's mother in Home Depot last Friday. She has been held with no bond. She was a trashy mom because guess what? She could have reached out to authorities instead of saying things like, do what you do. I don't care. You don't got to go to jail. You don't got to go to hell. I don't have to do it. She could have simply called 911. Seriously. She could have called 911. Thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl says, hello, morning chat. Been busy working, but definitely catching the replays. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. She said, I never tried to get close to a guy's family. Those are his folks, not mine. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, no. So yeah, she could have called 911 instead of saying, you're gonna go to jail. Well, it's your life, not mine. You're gonna end up on the floor. Come on, how many mothers would have told the cops what he was planning to do? Anybody raise your hand? How many would have told the cops what your son was planning to do? He's talking about, don't get in my way. She's like, I'm not. 911, hello? Why couldn't she have called 911? She is guilty as he is, period. She said they both look mentally disturbed. And look at the young lady, 18 years old. She just wanted to move on and co-parent. She just wanted to move on and co-parent. This don't make no sense. Talking about she gave him a disease. No, dude, you was out there riding foul, being dirty. And she ain't want him no more. Look at these two. Mama and son. Lord, take the wheel. Take the freaking wheel. Anyway, toxic mama led to a toxic son. She still enabled her son when he was saying, you're not going to get in my way or whatever the case may be. By the time he got to Home Depot, the cops should have been there waiting. She said, I definitely would have told on mine because they know I don't play that shit. Exactly. And she should have told. So the fact that she didn't tell, and she talking about she was looking out for her, she just told the dude in the text message what aisle the girl was on. She wasn't going to turn him in. It sounds like she helped set the girl up. She did set the girl up. She up been talking about, don't do it in my car. I don't want no blood on my car. I don't want you messing up my car. She knew what he was going to do. She said, if you don't do it, then you're MF&B. Anyway, y'all, that's all I got today. This is sad, tragic. You know, if you are an enabler of your toxic ass son, then you a horrible toxic ass mother, period. And your toxic behaviors trickle down to him, whether she was in a toxic relationship and he saw it, or she just been a toxic person all her life. She got an old toxic son. Now they both gonna be in prison for life. You know, she said maybe she wanted the son gone and the girl. Well, now her ass gonna be gone. All three of them. They gone. So anyway, prayers to the young lady family. Brooklyn Sims family, you know, I can't even say that for this knucklehead or her because they are going to prison for the rest of their life, period. You know what I mean? So anyway, it should have ended differently because she should have been a damn adult. She should have been a damn adult. We be wanting to enable our kids. I lay down for mine. I do this for mine. No, when your child wrong, you don't lay down for your child. You call 911. Don't jeopardize your life for your child bad behavior. And don't carry around the guilt for your child bad behavior. If your child want to act up, one thing that I think I will never ever remember when Judge Mathis said that when he did something, I think he stole something. His mother called 911 and said, my son stole this or my son stole that. And that joker got locked up in juvenile. His own mother got him in trouble. But guess what? He ended up becoming a judge. So sometimes we got to teach our kids the hard way. Show them some tough love. And then they might just turn their life around. Thank you, Barbara. But if you're enabling their toxicity, guess what's going to happen? They're either going to end up in jail or in prison. I mean, in prison or, 6 feet under. That mother should have told her that if the relationship is toxic, he needs to move on because the grandchildren should not be around that toxic mess. Exactly. What in the hell she thought was going to happen with the 2-year-old? And look how many other lives the dude put in danger trying to get to one person. He's a thug, is what I call it. A thug is what he is. I wonder if the mother have other children. Oh, you know what? Let me see. I think they did say that. Hold on. hold on. Yes. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. It don't say. I thought it said she had 5, but that's not the same person. That's somebody different. It doesn't say that she has other kids. No, it doesn't say. So I don't know. Did he plead guilty? He had a trial. He had a trial. He did not plead guilty right away. Well, eventually he did. I mean, he said he did it. He pled guilty to doing it, but not for first degree. I think he tried to say she gave him STD. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on, y'all, because guess what? Oh, no. Okay, I was about to say it's a different dude. Oh, yeah, okay. No, he actually went to trial. He went to trial and he was sentenced for life. He pled guilty to the murder, but he said that it was not guilty to first degree because she gave him an STD. So he went in court trying to plead his case, trying to say that the reason why he did it is because she burned him. You know what I mean? Which they did a test on her and found out that she did not have an STD at all. Let's look at his sentencing right quick. Let's see what the judge had to say.
As I sat through the testimony, and especially your testimony, frankly, it's rare to have such a track record of what your thoughts were, what someone's thoughts were, what they intended to do, the acts they took to do it, and the culmination of it. It's rare that premeditated murder is literally laid out right in front of the jury. This was the textbook definition of a premeditated murder. Because you got mad and blamed her for something that, in disgusting irony, wasn't even her fault. Take any time to think about it, you would have found that out. But instead, you did what you did, came over here with one purpose, and you fulfilled that purpose, traumatizing everybody in that store. We had to see it, hear it, run from it. People got hurt. The jury found that you weren't responsible for intentional battery on 2 of those people, whether they were hurt from fragments or from getting run out of the store. None of that happens if it's not for you. And that's the minimum trauma that these people don't live with, having had dealt with that, having to deal with that for the rest of their lives, with noises, with crowds. The evidence pretty conclusively pointed out that you unloaded that gun until it jammed. And you would have fired at least, I believe there were, by the testimony was there were 3 more casings, 3 more bullets in the gun, plus another one by the side of the road. 7 shots. And you would have kept going, 2 in the back of the head.
He unloaded the gun until it jammed, until he could not fire no more. Is that not crazy? Can y'all hear this or is it too low? Let me know if y'all can hear it or is it too low?
Just cold up. Broad daylight in the middle of the store, with co-workers, with customers. The terror that you inflicted on everybody that was around is unthinkable. And unfortunately, that by your decision, when you had so much time to think about, you chose just to end her life, to throw yours away, to throw away the life that your daughter would have known. But she's not going to get to know you very well in prison. I hope that she's able to have some relationship with you if that's what caretakers want. But you forfeited your role in her life. And it's hide away the fact that what you did was murder all these people for the rest of their lives. And you as well. Jury having found you guilty of first-degree murder, adjudicate you guilty of that, sentence you to life in prison, credit for 132 days, 518 in court costs, 150 public defender application and fee. Is there anything else the state was able to defense? The financial obligations will be reduced to judgment in 30 days to appeal. Not for an attorney.
So he basically told him, you just threw your life away. Did y'all hear that? He just threw his life away. And you know, like I said, she didn't even have the disease that he claimed that she had. She didn't even have it. Dummy. What a dummy. What a freaking dummy. He's a damn dummy.
So welcome back to Court TV Live.
Listen to him. Hold on. I want y'all to hear what he got to say.
Stanley Painter, thanks for being with us. And we are bringing you the testimony in the murder case against Keith Agee in Florida.
Keith Agee, A-G-E-E. How old are you, Mr. Agee? I'm 20 years old. Where are you from originally? Calvert, Alabama. You're looking at the time of this time? Yes, sir.
Oh, I can't play this. I'm sorry. This is Court TV. I can't play that, y'all. But anyway, if y'all want to see, you got to go to Court TV on that one. I can't play that. I forgot. I can't play none of Court TV stuff. They got it to where if you play it, they demonetize your video. And I don't want them to demonetize my video, so I'm not going to play it. But anyway, that's enough for this story, you guys. Again, he locked up. She going to get locked up. And, you know, if they have the trial, if it comes back up, I will definitely let y'all know. If she's sentenced to life, I do believe that she is going to get life. There's no way around it. So that is what it is. And the other story that I posted on my community board, the young lady that killed the pastor the other day, she is set free for right now. She is out on bond, all right, pending, her court case or whatever. I'm sure she's going to be going to trial for that as well. So anyway, but I'm going to keep y'all up to par. I know there's other people that's doing lives that's some hot, spicy tea. And I know y'all want to run back to it right quick. So let me just give y'all a big, huge shout out for those that came and those that will catch this later. Please do so. Hit the replay. And thank you guys for your support and watching. And let me just give y'all a shout out for supporting this live. Thank you, Nobi. Appreciate you. Glenn, for real. I am Glenn. Thank you, Lakeisha, Jen Hen, Lavette. Thank you so much. Mrs. Sean. Thank you, baby. Cheryl, Barbara, Beverly, Barbara, Inga. Thank you so much. And C. Baldwin. Did I meet my goal, you guys? Did I? I don't even know if I did or not. Let me check. I think I did. Did I? I don't know. We'll see. Did I meet my goal? Oh, I need 6 more for my goal. Can I meet it? Probably not. Probably not. I always have another live. But I appreciate you guys that did even pour in and bought me a coffee as well. I do appreciate y'all. Let me see, did I miss anybody? Let me see. Let me refresh. We got We got Ashley. Thank you so very much for that $20 tip. That's for Coca-Colas. We got QC. Thank you for the $10 tip. Appreciate you. And we got Chris N. Thank you for the $10 tip. And Nisi. Thank you for the $5 tip. Appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I might come back later. Y'all know when I came back last night, child, we had a conversation. I put it on members only for those that were not able to catch my late live last night. It kind of went another direction, not in a bad way, just kind of in a little weird way. But that's why I put members only. But I mean, we were just having conversation and we had a guest pull up. We don't treat our guests mean or anything like that. So we welcomed them and we had a conversation. We may not have agreed on everything, but if you want to go see it, it's members only. If not, it ain't that big of a deal. We was just having small talk, y'all. But anyway, I love y'all so much. Hit that thumbs up button on the way out and be careful when you cross that street. Oh, thanks, Knee Deep. Knee Deep said, let me go on and help you out with these 5 more super chats. Thank y'all. Even if you catch this replay, if you want to pour into this live stream, you can do so. I am 5 short on my goal. If you want to help me get there, you can by just sending in, a super chat. Actually, I don't even know if once I end the live, I don't even know if the goal will still be there. So don't even worry about it. But, oh, wait a minute, y'all. I think I'm going to stay on. I am getting them in T-shirts. So I only need 4 more. 4 more. Do I have 4? Do I have 4 more? I might as well. 4 more, 4 more, 4 more, 4 more, 4 more. And I will meet my goal. Am I going to meet it? Thank y'all. Thank you, Needy. Thank you, Tisha. Thank you, C. Baldwin. Thank you, Igna. Barbara. Barbara gave 2. Okay. Cheryl, thank you. Who else? Let me see. It won't show me. Oh, Lavette, Lakeisha, and Glenn. Thank y'all so very much. Four more. I'll wait about 2 more minutes. If I don't, it ain't that big of a deal. Please don't feel pressure. Never, ever, ever, ever feel pressure. If you can, that'd be great. If not, please hit that thumbs up button for me. Please and thank you. She said, stay on. Let's go. She said, stay on. Barbara gonna make sure I hit it. Barbara like, here you go. Thank you so much, Barbara. I appreciate it. I do. Barbara like, here you go. Here you go, another one. All right, you guys, only need 3 more. 3 more. She's talking about some stay on. We gonna get this. Need to, you funny. 3 more. What internet sister say? Let's go. What time the internet sister coming on tonight? Let me see. Hold on. I know break room is still on, spilling some hot tea, baby. So when y'all leave this live, I know break room is still on, and I don't know what time the internet sister is coming on. Let me see. The internet sister, well, she don't have it set up yet. Oh, she coming on at 9:30? She said, stay on, I'm at work. But the internet sister is on. Oh, thank you, RL. Only need 2 more, and I got it. I got you, sis. Thank you, RL. I appreciate it. Y'all make me feel loved. Y'all know these type of lives don't normally get a lot of views because, it ain't drama. I mean, it's drama, but it's not drama. She said she's off. Oh, break room off? Is she? I thought she was still on. I was going to run over there when I got off here. I literally was going to run back over there because I was listening to break room, and then I was like, I already pushed it back. I said, let me go ahead and go live, and then I'm going to go back and listen to break rooms later. So break room off? I did not know she was off. Now, there is a rumor going. She said she got off 19 seconds ago. Okay, I didn't know. I only need 1 more, and I will meet my goal, you guys. 1 more, and that's it. But let me just say this right quick while we wait. I know y'all like, oh, don't go. Now, I don't know how true this is, and I'm not even trying to spread a rumor. But y'all, if this is a rumor, we just gonna dead it as a rumor. But I heard Vivica Fox got a BBL at the age of 60. Did y'all hear that? That Vivica Fox went and got a BBL. Lord, what in the world is going on at the age of 60? Who does that? A BBL. What? Did y'all hear that? She said, yeah, I heard it. What is she thinking? Oh, I reached my goal, you guys. Thank y'all so very much. I did. Thank you, C. Baldwin, and thank you, Yasmin. And then Mika Meek came through and said, she said, I hardly hear, but I definitely catch every day. She said, I'm hardly here, but I definitely catch the replay. Okay, thank you. And then Binky Bink, thank you, baby. Appreciate you. She said Megan Good got married. Oh, yeah, she sure did. Megan Good married him. The relationship, they said it was fake. Megan Good definitely got married, but was I the only one? She said, look a mess. Okay, so I'm not the only one that heard that Vivica Fox got a BBL. She said she has not publicly confirmed or denied these claims, and there is no official confirmation of her getting the procedure. Yes, I know, but you're right. That's why I said allegedly, because it's not being told from the news. It's only TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube and Facebook that's reporting that she got a BBL. I think 50 Cent has spoke on it as well. So you're right. No one knows if it's true. However, her butt do look larger, doesn't it? She said, I saw the BBL, LOL. I seen it too. She said, I seen the picture. It looks like it. It absolutely looks like it. She said, I think 50 Cent is trolling her. Well, if he's trolling her, I think he has a right. She said, we saw a video. There's a video out there walking into a party. Yes, I saw the video of her walking to a party and her butt is bigger. She said her ex has been a hater. Okay, so you don't believe that she really got the BBL? Because why in the world would someone at their late age of 60 years old care about how big their butt is? Because baby, with as much money as she had, all she got to do is go get a trainer. But anyway, and at 60 with a big butt, I don't think that looked good anyway. But I mean, that's just me. I just hope that she didn't do that, because that's a risk of your life, you know. Said, bye, more ladies. God bless you. Thank you, Rita. She said, it looks like it. The butts and thighs don't match. Yeah, I did see that. She said 50 be trolling, but he don't be lying though. So I don't know. I don't know if she got a BBL. 50 Cent did come out with it and showed a video of her going to some type of party. And it said that she was celebrating her BBL. She looks a mess now. I don't know. I don't think that Vivica Fox needed one, because Vivica Fox is a beautiful woman to me. So I don't think that she needed a BBL. So hopefully she didn't get it. But maybe he just saw a glimpse of how she looked from the side. And maybe he said that. Who knows? You know? But anyway, I just thought I would throw that in. But thank you so much for helping me meet my goal. I may come back and give y'all a late night for those that are working third shift. It just depends on how long Internet Sister is on, okay? I love you guys. Talk to y'all later. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button. Talk to y'all later. I got another story, you guys, and it's about the two twin boys that was found on the mountain. I want to talk about that. I was going to do these two together, but I think they are two different meanings, okay? One is racial crimes, and one is toxic moms. So I wanted to do it separate, all right? So she said, when is Jenny live? I heard Jenny was coming on at 9:30. 9:30. But I do want to talk about, if you guys have not heard it, it's two twin black boys, 19 years old, was found popped on the top of a mountain in a sundown town. So I definitely want to come back and have a conversation about that. I just did not want to mix the two, because it's just two different meanings. She said, yeah, that's the one I want to hear with the twins. Yes. So we'll be talking about that next. Okay. All right. I love y'all. Hit that thumbs up button, and I'm going to talk to y'all later. Bye.
Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names. Yay!
She kept talking about
We
that
got these
family.
hoes over there. Out,
She
man.
kept talking about that family. She kept talking
Internet
about that
gangsters.
family. She kept talking about that family. She kept talking about that family. That family. She kept talking about that family. Talking about that family.
These motherfuckers don't be wanting to listen. Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.
Talking about it. That family. That family. That family. That family.
Yay!
That family. That family. Talking about it. Talking about it. Child, we finna talk about this with Amora.